right, very exciting day for me. Father time here. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to fly an FSiPanel profile from JFK to Boston in this big, beautiful airplane that is near and dear to my heart with JetBlue Flight 1318 in the 777-300 by Pmdg. That was released 4 days ago. I was on vacation. I downloaded it today, June 29th. Looked at the FMC. I flew a lot of this on the P3D platform when I was on the 777 because I couldn't confuse myself flying different airplanes. Since I've retired back in September of 23, I've been able to fly different airplanes, including the MD-11. I'm part of the development team there. But man, what a great job they've done over here at Pmdg. TFDi as well, by the way. That's coming out soon. Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to have 2 great long-haul, versatile aircraft. Let's take a look at it. And while it boots up, I'll be right back. All right, here we are. Let's take a look around. 21,000 hours what I have between American Airlines for 36 years. I have 2,000 on this beautiful airplane, the 777. We flew 200s and 300s. We flew them with the same engines, the GE 90s. Gotta admit, it makes me kind of sad to be around it. It makes me kind of sad. I do miss it, I guess. I love being retired. I love being home, not traveling, but it sure was an honor getting to fly these for one of the premier airlines in the world, all around the world. I'm type rated in the 73, 75, 76, 777 on the Boeing side, and I flew the 72 as an engineer, and a 707 on the form of the KC-135 in the Air Force. So I have a lot of Boeing. I also have 2 McDonnell Douglas airplanes on my resume, MD-80, which we had 82s and 83s. I've done some videos on the Mad Dog here. And also MD-11, I have 2,000 hours as an FO on that, albeit from 25 years ago. 27 years ago. You can trust that I'm very cognizant of how difficult it is to develop an airplane for Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially of this quality. As I've been involved with the TFDi project on the Quality Assurance, it will be out from under the Non-Disclosure Act here in a few days when it's released. Can't wait. Let's go on inside. Cold, dark airplane. Take a look around. Other guys have already done a bunch of videos. You guys have seen it. Probably haven't flown with too many guys who have actually flown the airplane actively. There's a couple out there. FO would sit here, the FFO sit here, FB here, FC or the relief captain over here. We check the ropes, make sure the escape ropes are good, windows are closed and locked. Just before we sit down, escape rope, and windows closed and locked. Before we sit down, we check the oxygen bottle in the green, crash axe, pressure breathing equipment. There's actually a couple of them in here. One's there, one's in there. Fight fires with that, God forbid, right? Come on over. Probably got the ELT there to take that with you if you evacuate. And just looking around the detail here, the classic Boeing sheepskin seats. Yep, brings back memory. Lots of memories. But anyway, let's go take a look at the cabin, shall we? Enter through the aft galley. Here we are in the galley. Come back here, you typically have like 13 flight attendants on a flight to a place like India, and 5 or 6 of them will be back here getting ready for the flight. You can either call a crew briefing, which the company liked us to do, but you'd really interrupt their process, which is extensive, so I usually had 3 briefings. I just come back here, talk to 6 of them. I go to the different galleys and say hello. Tremendous amount of detail put in here. As I mentioned, I am very, very aware of how difficult it is to do this. A little publicity for Pmdg. as well as the logo I have in my video. I was actually invited to be part of the flight test team over at Pmdg. However, I got involved with TFDi and they didn't uninvite me, they just never used me. So this is my first look at it. I did fly their P3D platform. As I mentioned, almost exclusively put out about 40 videos over there. After I looked around in the FMC, I realized that the EFB is a lot more sophisticated on the Microsoft Flight Simulator version, but very similar on the FMC. So that helps. But I'm a little rusty, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my best shot here. Take a look around. Mostly you get to see me how excited I am. Here you are in business class where we belong, right guys? Flight attendants have a couple of control panels to play all the boarding music here. Doesn't work, so don't think I'm not using it. And up here we had an American Airlines. I'm not sure what they have here. This to me looks like the crew rest facility. In there maybe. We had an upstairs that you accessed. That might be it right there. We had our access was over here, and you go upstairs and you had a condo up there with a couple of coffee makers, crew rest seats. I saw the coffee makers over here, and bunks, TV screens. Pretty good. This guy's their worst nightmare. Captain Richard is back. He's back. Thought you got rid of me. You guys can't hide on me. I know you're in here somewhere. But anyway, let's take a look around. Enough of that nonsense. Real impressed with the Pmdg product. I just want to get this preset in a position that would be beneficial when I go outside using the drone, which would be, I'd like it to have it right about up like that when I come back outside. Let's go inside. We'll run through the checklist. We just did the cabin. We're about to put power on the aircraft. Come up the middle. Take a look what we have here. Want to make sure the fuel control switches, the cutoff fire handles are in, throttle levers are idle. It's interesting here with these. I got to probably turn that off, but anyway, it helps you. Reverse thrust levers are down, the flap lever is up, speed brake's down, radar is off. Turn the radar on up here with the weather, but I usually put that in the test position. Snap it down so that when it comes on, it's ready. Gear handle is down. We have wipers are off. All the hydraulic pumps are off. Thrust assembly computer is auto. And we're going to go to battery switch on. And we're going to external power, secondary and primary is on. When I turn on the APU, it'll kick the secondary off. But usually you'll have two sources of power, otherwise you start shedding galleys. Turn those on, and then we get the coffee brewing by turning back on the entertainment system and utility buses. With that on, we're now established. You'll notice that the CRTs are not lit up yet. They take a little while, and Pmdg has accurately modeled those. All right, let's go up and get some all the way to the upper overhead. And we want to make sure the cargo temps, if you had puppies, you'd turn those onto high. Voice recorder, circuit breaker, press that, it goes in the green band. All the rest of the switches are guarded and closed. Circuit breakers are in. These are the IRSs. We call them Adaroo. Turn on the IRSs. Thrust assembly computer is in auto. Primary flight computers are in auto. And you can turn on the window heat now. Throw the emergency lights on. Go down to the box. Leave the hydraulic pumps all off. Go down to the box. Takes a little while for these boxes to light up bright. So I've got them, you can see all the way up right there, but they're pretty dim. That's accurately modeled. They've done a nice job with that. First time you come in here, you get Pmdg setup, panel state, load. We already got all that. These two, I'm not going to go through them all with you, but equipment displays and failures. We're not going to do any failures today. Equipment, 12 pages. Go through them all. The only one I'd like to point out to you is it's important to know your default acceleration, transition altitude, all that. You can also do that on the takeoff page 2. Put in your engine out, in your cleanup altitude. But this is where you can change those altitudes if you wanted. And I'll let you go through these. I put it on, I don't want the bat wings, which is single point. I want the crosshairs for my flight directors. And I have all the altitude warnings on my side. Go back. displays. You want to make sure this is whatever SimBrief's in this case pound, and go through, and whatever your options you want. I'm not going to go through them all with you. Failures, if you wanted to do a system, you could go down. Next page is 1 of 5. Engine. Let's say you wanted to do random or program. You could engine failure. Boom. Hit it, tell it when, and off you go. But we're not doing that on our first flight back after these years. And then there's other things you can do. Failures, displays, load, fix. Back here, return to setup. Options. Simulation. Go through here. I want to show you a couple of things here. These are the call outs, step climb, time compression, do it through the EFB or here up to 4 times and pause at the top of descent. Simulation performance, go through those numbers, make sure you got everything on that you want. Anyway, those are some important things on the menu page. I'll go to FMC. Model is 300, these GE90s. 115,000 pounds. Let's see, we're 26 June, and today is, this database is good up to the 11th. Position that you get 10 minutes to get that done. Use GPS. If you want to put your gate in, you can. I'm not going to. I'm going to use JFK. Put that in, and that's lining. Now to get the route in here, if you go route request, nothing's going to happen. You have to go to the EFB. This is how you get back to the home page right here. But we're going to go electronic flight bag, request from SimBrief. There it is, JFK to Boston. Nice. Weather, we can come in here and go KJFK. Now the weather we're using is a pre-canned weather from FSiPanel, so this won't be accurate. Because we're using, as I mentioned, preset from FSiPanel. There's your flight plan. There's your approaches. You can go through here. Once you've signed in the first time, but remember, same thing with your HOPI code for VATSIM and IVAO. And airport, 10-9. And nice thing, it's got an airplane here. We're here. We're supposed to push back on Delta. Taxi out Delta Alpha Bravo. Hold short of Juliet for 31 left departure. This is canned profile at the moment. Kennedy is actually on 22, but we won't be using that. And this right here is just a software tablet update. And there's some of your things. This is how you sign in the first time. Your SimBrief, your HOPI code, weather source, etc. What kind of units you want to use. Save your preferences. That's that. Come in here, ground operations. We can remove chocks, air conditioning, all sorts of things. You can release the ground power when you start the APU. Let's do something though. Instead of using these, if you look at all these, ground connections, ground service vehicles, you can bring them all up, door management. I'm going to try using SimBrief. GSX, I'm sorry guys. A little tired here.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Okay, I'm going to say request boarding.
Boarding requested.
And we use American Airlines, even though we're at JetBlue, we're at American Airlines gate. Because that's who I used to fly for. All right, we'll get things going there. It made me ask me to open doors. You're capable of doing this in a number of different ways. You even have a pushback tool on the FMS, but on the electronic flight bag, door management, you can see waiting to activate open forward cargo door, open. And if it asks for anything, you just open them on this page. Open aft cargo
Pilot's
door.
Boarding
aft
starting.
Cargo door. Boarding passengers now. Let's take a look.
Crew boarding starting.
I just thought I'd give you a little tour. I'm having a little fun looking around. Like I said, kind of nostalgic. Been enjoying my retirement a lot, but I'm doing a lot of this stuff. But it's a little sad when you're kind of left out. They're coming in 2L, of course. Yeah, probably should have that 2L door open. So I don't have to do this Harry Potter type stuff of walking through walls, right? You guys are probably really impressed that I know Harry Potter. Well, let's go back to the EFB. I'll open that door. Open door. Disarm. Disarm all. Open this one. There we go. Since that's 2L is open, now let's go back in. That's better. Welcome, welcome. All right, enough of that nonsense. Let's go into the FMC. Now, because we did a sim brief over here, right? We came in and we did electronic flight bag, and we did our flight plan. That's all loaded. Now, if we go to the box, we should be able to get a route request, sim brief. Now, this is going to be interesting because set payload and fuel. There's no point. It's just basically a departure to arrival. Set fuel. All right. So we can go departures. Oh, it's still updating. It takes, you got to be patient. It takes a little while for it to come in. We'll just wait.
Your crew has boarded.
You don't want to hit activate
Passengers
right now
boarding starting.
because nothing's in there. You're going to have to wait for the load prompt. Where's everyone? Huh. Kind of hurts. Where are you guys? There you are.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Come on board. Now let's go back inside. The box should be ready by now.
Welcome on board.
Simby block fuel is set.
Hello.
Maybe it's because it's not activate.
Good morning. Boarding pass, please. Welcome on board. Welcome on board.
Finally, there's a load prompt. Click the load.
May I see your boarding
It's
pass?
uploading.
Hello.
It does take this long in the real airplane, guys. Of course, it would load everything from here to India, except for the SID and the star, the runways. There it is. Activate. Remember 6R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Boarding pass, please.
Things come in 6R. Activate. Activate. Execute. 6R.
Good morning.
For finite. Accept.
Hello.
You want to get the zero fuel weight in there, you're going to have to click it twice, once, twice. There it is. Descent, uplink, forecast, go to VNAV.
Hello.
The reason it doesn't have cruise is because there's no cruise points.
Hello.
And load those. Now we should be able to go to departure. JFK-5,
Good morning.
31 left. And they're going to give us the Canarsie climb. But before we do that, we'll go the Roebuck arrival into Boston, Ruiz transition,
Hello.
ILS 22 left, execute, and wind update ready, legs, route data, load.
Hello.
There we go. Look at the distance, 233. Compare that to the total flight plan anticipated, 244. We'd walk through every point the whole way,
Good morning.
confirming the entire arrival on the legs. Right here. Now, departure is going to be Canarsie climb. It's going to be Canarsie, and then the Canarsie 176 until
May
they
I see your boarding pass?
call us for vectors. So I just put in 25 miles. It'll go Canarsie. We'll be able to do it in LNAV that way. And it's got a couple other things. Descent uplink again. Enough already. And load them up. That's good. So, yep, we walked through the route. We start at the database, net index. We start the database. Cardiac aircraft, check the database together. Then we go to the route page. We'd walk through that together, make sure we got the entire route, including the arrival and the approach. Then we go to legs, walk through the legs in the plan mode,
Good morning.
which is up here. And in the plan mode, we can step through each point, checking the altitude,
Hello.
crossing restrictions. Speaking of which, I'll put data on here in airport.
Welcome
And then we check the total distance compared to the flight plan, see if we're in the ballpark on that. It's kind of how you load the box. Now, going back to the EFB,
this way.
let's get back to the main page. Over here, the button, performance tool, import from operational flight plan, runway ID.
This way.
They want us to go off 2231 left,
Boarding pass, please.
even though the real Kennedy right now is using the right.
Good morning.
Get the don't import from the flight plan, import it from the aircraft.
Hello.
CG in there. Can import the weather, although we have a canned weather profile. This is the
This way.
actual weather. And then calculate,
Good
and
morning.
there you have it. It's going to be a TO2, flaps 5, excel height 1500 feet and 46. So if you go to the box, net,
Welcome on
index, thrust limit, climb to TO2,
board. Hello.
46. Now we go to takeoff. Go flaps 5. Get the CG, just click twice. 47, 51, 57. Good enough. So we've got everything set there. I'll put this guy on flight plan,
This way.
legs, and I'll be on takeoff data since I'll be flying. All right, with that out of the way, go to the overhead. All the way up to top,
Welcome on board.
upper overhead. We checked all those switches. Over here we get the initial part. We're going to do 4 columns, then come across the glacial control panel. ADRU is on. Thrust assembly computer, which is for engine out, is in the auto position. It gives you automatic rudder once you're airborne.
Good morning.
Leaves about, I think if you have 10% thrust difference on the engines.
This way.
In flight, these might be shed if you only had 1 power source, but we have 2.
May I see your boarding pass?
Batteries on, APU generator's good. Let's start the APU. Lights, faults, fire, APU. Fire test in progress.
Welcome on board.
Master warning. Lights in the fire handle. And lights should be in the handles here.
Hello.
You go back up to the overhead. Because that last time I tested this, it worked. Here it is. Something I did wrong, I'm sure. And then press the warning light, and everything goes out. Perfect. And with that out of the way, you can start the APU. Let's go see how they modeled the APU outside. Sounds like they've done boarding. Here it is, it's starting. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I love it. Sounds like they're done boarding, so I think what we'll do, guys, is we'll
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
prepare for pushback. Let them take everything away. Close it up, we'll see how much they do. I might have to close some doors manually myself. Let me go down to the EFB. Push the main button.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Doors close all. They're closing. Arm all. Arm all doors. Closing, closing. So all the cabin doors are armed. You can see them in green. And the
Departure
cargo
checks
doors are
completed.
closing.
Bypass pin inserted.
All right. Very good, very good. Yeah, love this stuff. So here we go. We got external on, APU is on. So APU is running. We can turn the external off, and we'll go back to the EFB, and we'll get ground service vehicles. Release all vehicles. It's good. Ground ops, ground service, ground connections.
Locking gear.
Release the ground power unit. Remove the chocks. Whenever we do, we park the brakes. All right, they're getting ready back there for pushback. Let's finish the overhead and we'll get going. 4 columns. Backup generator, all these generators are on. These are CST for low oil pressure, high oil temperature. You can't, once you disconnect them, it has to be reconnected by maintenance. APU's running. Voice recorder's in auto. Emergency lights are armed. Passenger oxygen is light is out. Window heat's on. This is a ram air turbine or air driven generator. We're going to turn on the pumps right to left. These 4. These and then these 2. Then we turn them off. We'll turn them off the other way. It prevents fluid transfer. We don't do that just yet. We'll turn off the seatbelt. Turn on the seatbelt sign. And let's see. Over here, dome, store light, master bright. Any switches that are on the dot, like these here, this dot, if you have it on the index, that master switch, if you take it out, it doesn't control it. But if any ones that you have on the master index, on the dot, it'll control. So it's that one, those down there. I believe there's another one all the way down here. Yep, right down here. Half flood up here. So if they're in the white dot, you can control all like 9 or 10 of them with that one master switch. Kind of a cool feature, I think. Beacons, just on navs for now. We did the fire test. Everything was good. We're in normal start. To start, I'm going to go 1 engine at a time. I'll start the right one first. That's what we did in American. I know other airlines use the left one first. We did the right one first. Don't know why. Fuel jettison, you would arm it and then press it. And I forget what the dump rate is. I want to say somewhere around 3,000 or 4,000 pounds per minute. But I'm not positive. You see this pump arm? I didn't touch it. That's because the APU is running. It automatically turns on the APU start pump. Wing anti-ice, engine anti-ice, auto. We leave everything in auto so it comes on and off in the air. But if you want it on the ground, after engine start, if you're 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, invisible moisture, or the taxiways and runways had moisture on it, you would have, in those temperatures, you'd have to turn it on after engine start. Wing, you don't turn on until you're above 1,000 feet. But if you leave them all in auto, once you're airborne, you never have to think about it. The 78 and 777 wanted to be certified without engine anti-ice. They didn't think they needed it, but FAA made them put it on. Little known fact, tell me if I'm wrong, Gasper fans are off. Recirc fans, the only time you would turn those off if you needed to clear smoke out of the cabin, part of a smoke elimination checklist, or certainly if you put on conditioned air, if you turn those off, you'll get a better conditioned air output. Ground, because otherwise it's taking hot air, putting it in with your conditioned air that's coming off the ground cart. Equipment cooling fan is in auto. I think there's 2 fans down there. It opens an outflow valve too. Overboard exhaust valve to when you depressurize, closes once you pressurize. The packs are in auto. Trim air, checklist might direct it. That just is a meters hot air in with the pack air. Bleed air, engine bleeds are off. Everything else is in auto. APU bleed air is on. Overflow valve, make sure it's in auto. And landing altitude, the elevation is set. You can see that on the air page. Wipers off. All right, so glare shield control panel. We're going to be 5,000 feet. I just do this. And then our heading is, initial heading is, let me see, 314. 314, and then eventually left-hand turn, intercept the 176 out of Canarsie. 314. And if you look at our V2, which goes in this window, it's 157. 157. And you want to check indicator airspeed, not Mach, heading, not track, vertical speed, not flight path angle. And you want this in auto, not in thousands. Although you can do, if you want to get it up, make it spin faster, you can go to thousands, and instead of going hundreds, it'll bump up in thousands. Turn on your flight directors, and this is your autopilot disengage switch. It's basically, think of it as you don't know what the heck's going on. You can't get, nothing seems to be doing what you want. If you turn this off, you get yourself a manual airplane. Up here on this panel, the way we check it, we go stat, and we check hydraulic and oxygen quantities are good, no refill on the hydraulics. Engine, we check any engine instruments for exceedances. Nothing, no red boxes, otherwise call maintenance. On the bottom, we go checklist, and you go reset, and you reset all the checklists. And then over here you go on that display, I'm sorry guys, checklist, and then you cancel recall in case somebody canceled a significant issue. RTO on here, coming across the middle, so Glacier control panel, mode control panel is all set. Clocks are set, we check those, cross check with each other. No unwanted flags. You've got this is your routing, we've checked that. ISFD, integrated system flight director. No unwanted flags. Check the altimeters against each other. All looks good. Hydraulic pressure is good. Quantity, fuel quantity is good. Check that against release. Gear handles down, RTO. There's your flap speeds right here. That's a big deal. No unwanted lights here. Display control. Once again, there's a white dot, so that means the master will control them. Flap handles up. Reversers are down. Throttles are idle. Spoiler lever is down. Fuel control switches are cut off. Fire handles are in. Here you can reset your interphones, all call if you wanted. Rarely use that. There's a directory here where you can actually call dispatch as other directories. This is used for multiple functions once you're airborne, for maintenance and dispatch, things like that. Data, this is for ACARs, but you could use it if you wanted for third radio, if you spilled coffee on the others. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up my radios. On this FSiPanel, the 2345 is what you use for maintenance, for ATIS on all of them for these profiles. 2345. Takes a little while to spin that in. Move that over, and the other side we'd have 21.5 for guard. Truth is, at Kennedy we'd push back with the ramp, but we're not going to do that today because FSiPanel doesn't do that. And then we're going to be going over to clearance delivery 3505. Clearance delivery 3505. So these are real frequencies at any of your destinations. FSiPanel though, the ATIS is always 2345. 3305, which is where we'll be getting clearance. 3505, I'm sorry guys. And then we'll be going over to Kennedy ground, which is 21.9. And as always, you're trying to just stay a little bit ahead on that. All right, so 21.9, 3505, there's ATIS, and this should be 21.5. 21.5, sorry guys. For guard, which we'll keep tuned at all times when we're flying. If you're not listening to ATIS or talking to company or something. All right, that's the radios we're going to set up. Doors are all set. Coming through here, data, Just check your trim. Everything's good with the trim. Rudder trim's good. And then the only other thing you'd have to check is down here, the phone's in the cradle. Rudder, aileron trim. Everything is good. And we check on top of the index on top of the aileron for the aileron trim up here. Pretty cool. Up here, by the way, we're going to use LNAV and BNAV. There you go with Toga set. And that completes our checklist. Our Origination Preflight oxygen is tested 100%. If you want to do it, they actually have it modeled here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, press here and look for a yellow band and check your mic switch. Press your mic while you're on interphone. Down here, interphone, flight, they call it flight. Check your mic and you'll hear it come through. You used to have to put the mask on, but since COVID, we no longer do that. All right, so back to the box. Flight instruments are checked. We did all that. Parking brake set. That is set, so I'll item override that one. Go to the normal checklist. Flight deck door is closed. MCP we talked about. Takeoff mode. You guys can't really see that, can you? Takeoff mode, we reviewed our V-speeds. We checked our pre-flight. Trim, I didn't really do that. The trim you set off here, 4.75. If you go to flight controls, come down here, trim. Oh, it's not going to let me do that just yet because I don't have any hydraulics on it. All right, we'll set 4.75 a minute. What we usually could do, if you come up here, you could turn on a little electric pump and get it over there. We'll get that in a minute. Checklist. Trim, takeoff briefing, we talked about that. We will. Beacon, we'll get that in just a moment. So now I'm going to start FSiPanel. Start the lesson. Basically, I'm just starting up the communications. Kind of like VATSIM without the terror. There we go. Airline flights, and those were in a man, I almost said MD-11, didn't I? 300ER. They're about to come up with this, a whole bunch of things with this. I'm not going to go into FSiPanel. You ought to get it. It's terrific. Flight 13, JetBlue flight 1318. There it is, right there. Start training. Let's open in the scenario pack. Look outside, make sure everything's cool. Let's go up there. They make sure that they have the tug ready. Yep, it's ready. Acknowledge, and when I do this, the ADA should start playing. It means the cabin's ready.
Visibility 10, cloud view 3,500 feet, temperature 25 dew point 22, altimeter 3027. This is Kennedy Airport information Charlie, wind 200, 18 knots, visibility 10, cloud view 3,500 feet, temperature 25 dew point 22, altimeter 3027, departing runway 31 left, landing runway 22 left. Advise on initial contact. You have information Charlie.
Information Charlie. Let's go back down the radio panel.
This is Kennedy Airport information Charlie.
Guard over here, and we'll call clearance. We're selected. Mike, listen. Here we go. Kennedy clearance. This is JetBlue 1318 at gate 24 and D24. Information Charlie. Request clearance to Boston.
JetBlue 1318, good morning. Cleared Boston's filed, 31 left. Kennedy 5 departure, Canarsie. Climb maintain 5,000 feet. Expect flight level 210 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 2256.
Okay, good morning. And JetBlue 1318, cleared to Boston is filed. Runway 31 left, Kennedy 5 departure, Canarsie climb. Climb maintain 5,000. Expect 210 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 2256.
JetBlue 1318, readback is correct. When ready for pushback, contact ground 1219er.
21.9 when ready. JetBlue 1318. All right, 2256 on the squawk. And move over a little bit. Be a little easier to set this, right? Two. All right. Sorry. I wonder if I could use this. Yeah. Save myself that embarrassment. Sorry, guys. I'm not used to this, whatever this is. 2256. 2256. Never really had that kind of one. And we're on TARA over here. Transponder's on. We'll put it above for the takeoff. 2256 looks good. All right. And ground. Hold on a second. Can the ground here, and then on the, we'll put on the COM 1 on the other side, 19.1 for tower. All right, we'll start with ground information, Charlie. Kennedy Grounds, JetBlue 1318, Delta 25 to push information, Charlie.
JetBlue 1318, ground, good morning. Push and start approved, facing east, report ready for taxi.
Push and start approved, facing east, they will call ready for taxi, JetBlue 1318. East is nose left.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Continue pushback. Nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
And if that's the case, guys, we've got a couple of things we got to do. We got to put on the beacons. We got to go hydraulics on.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
And we don't have to put on the centers because there's nothing in the center. Okay, clear to start. We're in auto. We'll start the right one first. For start's good. Normal for taxi. All right. And you can put the switch up because you're in auto start, and it'll start itself up. Make sure we go to engine here so we can monitor the whole start. It'll give yourself 3 chances to start it. Take a look outside. Looks like it's doing a nice job. Yeah, these big engines take a little while to get going here. Around 20-something%, looks good. Rolling on back. 2.4, somewhere around 70. 2.57, that looks normal. Back to the overhead. 200s, we can start both engines at once because we had what do we have? Rolls Royces. Okay, start the left engine. Do that. Come down, you can bring the switch up because we're in auto start. Back outside.
Please set
Alright guys, a good engine start, so I'll get him out of here.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, let's go to the overhead. APU, we can shut it down. Come down here. Call for flaps 15, flaps 5, I'm sorry. I like to go to the config page. No requirement, but it's a good idea. Flight control, sorry, wrong airplane. The captain usually does the rudders. We try to go 6 seconds stop to stop.
Unlocking gear.
Holding the nose wheel steering while we do it. Check the tops. Full deflection. Full deflection. Elevators. Full deflection. Full deflection. And here's, after we get our weights, winds, and temperatures, we
Tow
reset
truck
our
disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
stab trim to match the takeoff page.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And no need to arm the speed brakes for takeoff. So let's do checklist. After start, recall. Looks good. Anti-ice not required. Recall's clear. Flight controls check. Ground equipment, we'll see it's clear and normal. For takeoff, flaps are 5. This is the Boeing checklist, by the way. We had a more extensive checklist. We'll talk about some of the items when we get going. Let's go outside. Looks like that's them walking up there. Should be able to see him now. Go to the overhead. Oh, maybe not. I'm gonna go over here. Where are you, little fella? There he is. Flash the light. Means he's clear to go. They didn't like that. Do it again. There you go, buddy. You're out of here. Miss you already. Never change. There he goes. Okay, we're on ground. Kenny ground. JetBlue 1318 off Delta 25 taxi Charlie.
JetBlue 1318, taxi Delta Alpha, Bravo, hold short of Juliet.
Delta Alpha Bravo short of Juliet for JetBlue 1318. Alright guys, so we push back Delta Alpha, left on Delta Alpha. There we are. So it's up here. Right on Bravo, which is the outer, hold short of Juliet, eventually going out. I think full length, we'll see. Alright, so we clear left and right. Make sure they're clear. And off we go. Don't do any checklists in the gate here, area here. Brakes released. No more than 40%. Let's go to Boston. Well, so far I'm really impressed, guys, with the airplane. Had to cycle the brakes to get us moving here. It had all the pre-flight. I love it when all the things work, and they certainly did. We'll see how it taxis here. I've yet to taxi it. So far so good. I'm doing 18. It's a little fast. There's Delta Alpha. And right on Bravo, which is the outer. That says cabin is ready. Okay, I'll stay on Bravo all the way to hold short of Juliet. So Boeing doesn't have a checklist here, but we did. And after we get our closeout, we check our weights, make sure our zero fuel weight is updated on the init page, perf page in this airplane. Weights, winds, make sure we have a headwind. Otherwise, we had a tailwind. You can just look at our TPS. We subtract for every knot. Usually it's around 1,300 pounds. So 10 knots be 13,000 off the runway limited weight. And temperature. If you're doing a max power takeoff, which we're not, if you're above the temperature that you planned, you'd have to get new data. But if you're below your assumed on a standard takeoff, flex takeoff, you're all set. Weights, winds, and temperatures are checked. MCP and radios. MCP is up here, mode control panel. I should slow it down a little bit. 5,000 feet, runway heading, we're going to be in nav. Here's your toga switch right there, you know that. So guys, I'm just learning this Pmdg airplane, but man, so far, very, very, very impressed. Very impressed. Weights, winds, and temperatures are checked. MCP and radios are set and checked. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Got to let them know at least 2 minutes prior, and you chime when takeoff is imminent. Nose gear is right where the speed tape is. If we go outside, I can prove it, right? There you have it. Weights, winds, and temperatures to check. So we're going to hold short of Juliet. We're way up here. There's Juliet down there before we go left and going off 31 left. On departure, we'll brief the departure. Be my takeoff. Be runway heading 400 feet. We'll be in nav. Left-hand turn inside of 039 to Canarsie. Got us at or above 2,500, but we'll be well above that. And about the 176 Canarsie in nav. Radar vectors, probably the Ruiz to join the Roebuck into Boston. You know, I studied the pre-flight before I did this video. I get in, I ran it a couple of times, the box in the EFB because I weren't familiar with it, and I haven't flown it. I got to admit, even though I have 2,000 hours on this, I was flying it all over the world 10 months ago. I'm still current on it too until October. Although I've lost my first class medical, I'd have to go back and get that. His hotel, turn left on Juliet up here. Hold short of Juliet, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a little nervous doing it. A little nervous. Should have the taxi light on.
JetBlue 1318, hold short of Juliet, contact tower 123.9, safe flight.
Short of Juliet, 23.9, JetBlue 1318. I was expecting 19.1. $23.9. And I think I'll put in departure, which is 35.9. Get ready for that. 23.9, we're squawking, everything's good. Okay. And tower JetBlue 1318 holding short of Juliet.
JetBlue 1318, cross 22 right via Juliet, hold short 31 left, intersection Yankee.
Cross 22 right via Juliet, hold short of 31 left, intersection Yankee for JetBlue 1318. Okay, cross here. Intersection Yankee. Wasn't expecting that. Yankee is up here, so it's the first intersection after we cross. So that's we'd have to make sure we had the takeoff data for that, which we do. Very lightweight. I think there's a way on the EFB. I'll have to look at the perf page. It could have crossed, by the way, and to see if there's a way to put in, like, we're 1,500 feet further down the runway. You can't put in Yankee, but you might be able to put in a different runway length. I'll take a look at that, just for fun. All right, Yankee's the first right. Yeah, taxi's nice, guys. For Microsoft Flight Simulator, you know what I mean, right? Right there's Yankee, you take a right, hold short. You guys should get this FSiPanel 2020 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. As I mentioned, this guy JP is terrific. He's from Paris or France somewhere, and flies captain for an airline operating out of the Middle East, and he's extremely responsive. His Discord is outstanding. You guys get all your questions answered. He solicits your advice. He solicits your help. He has your flight tests, different things. You can make up YouTube videos, and he'll actually put them up as his examples. He does most of them himself, but if you do a good one and he likes it, he puts it on there. He's about today sometime to come out with a full profile for the MD-11 and the 777, which I'll fly for him probably tomorrow. I think this is it for me today. All right, we're holding short.
JetBlue 1318, runway 31 left, line up and wait.
Line up and wait through and left, JetBlue 1318. Okay, line up and wait. I'm going to go ahead and chime them. And I'm going to turn on my turn-off lights on the runway, my wing lights. I'll turn the logos on, why not? We'll do the strobes and the full lights when we come in, inbound, when we get clear for takeoff. So they're chimed. Before takeoff checklist is complete. I do one last final check, flaps, trim, everything.
JetBlue 1318, winds 200 at 15, runway 31 left, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, for takeoff through and left, JetBlue 1318. Lights are on. Wing lights are on. Strobe lights on. Okay, for takeoff. What could go wrong? Let's go. Usually we get up around 50%. And then we go TOGO. It's a switch here. Nice engine noises.
Airspeed's live.
I have all the call-outs activated. I think you should check. Across cockpit, make sure the acceleration check is good. 2 to 3 degree rotation, guys. Probably up around 15 to 20 degrees. Used to be. Closer to 20.
Rotate. V2.
Yeah, I like the way it flies, guys. Gear up. It's a nice and heavy on the rotation. Feels like a heavy. All right, guys, I am going to turn on the autopilot here and let it fly it out in nav. We're watching right now. It's in takeoff power, flying out of V2, flaps 5 speed. There it goes, 1,500 feet. There's climb 2. It's going down. Flaps 1. And flaps up.
JetBlue 1318, contact departure, 135.9er. Good day.
35.9, good day, JetBlue 1318. 35.9. Departure, JetBlue 1318 is out of 3 for 5,000. Canarsie climb.
JetBlue 1318 identified. Maintain 5,000 feet. Continue radio 176. Charlie Romeo India.
JetBlue 1318, maintain 5,000. Continue radio 176 off Canarsie. All right, guys, I'm going to bring the heading over. It's not what I wanted to do there. There we go. By accident, I clicked the heading select. What I meant to do is bring the heading over. Just getting ready. There's 4 for 5. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm just going to get the heading ready. Usually they give like a left turn. There's 5,000. Checklist. Leveling at 5, nice. Checklist. Normal menu. Gears up, flaps up. Looks good. Auto brakes are off. Yeah, I like the way it rotated. It a heavy. It's it's kind of a slow roll to get on up to the takeoff attitude. Doesn't jump right off. So far, I'm impressed. I am. I don't know if the airplane's impressed with me, but I'm impressed. I'm going to go back to the box here and get ready. I'm expecting a left-hand turn or maybe a direct Ruiz. Right now we're going to Canarsie. I put in 25 miles, which would be, normally they have you turning right about in here.
JetBlue 1318, climb 11,000 feet. Expect left turn shortly.
Climb maintain 1000. We'll expect a left-hand turn shortly for JetBlue 1318. All right, 11,000's in the window. Press it. VNav, LNav. Here we go. Yeah, we've got the heading kind of set up. Would be a good heading over towards Ruiz. Oh wow, it's probably back more like a 040. We'll see. All right, climbing up to 11,000.
JetBlue 1318, turn left 020, climb 15,000 feet.
JetBlue 1318, left 020, 15,000 feet. All right, let's do this in segments here. We'll go heading select 020, 15,000. Left 020. Zero 15,000 and 020. We're in heading select. You want to go heading hold to push there, altitude hold to push there. We're in heading and VNav still. Expecting to join the departure. Let's get that thing set up here. The arrival. Just had that there, didn't I? You guys knew that. Arrival, robot. I don't know if they're going to give it direct news or what. Then I'll have to reprogram that. I'm planning a direct Ruiz.
JetBlue 1318, contact New York Center 125.325.
125.325 to JetBlue 1318. 125.325. 325. JetBlue 1318 leveling at 15,000.
And JetBlue 1318 radar contact, continue on heading, climb flight level 190.
Continue the heading up to flight level 190, JetBlue 1318. Alright, so it did a capture, I think. So I might have to push that again. There it goes, because I was almost level there. Alright, 020 heading still. Oh, by the way, guys, I have a FS Realistic on in active sky. I'm playing with those a little bit. So you might notice it bumping around a little bit. You probably heard some noises in the background. I'm just experimenting with that stuff.
JetBlue 1318, proceed direct Nevis. Climb and maintain flight level 210.
Direct Nevis, flight level 210, JetBlue 1318. Alright, so Nevis is not in my flight plan. I need to go to the box. Nevis, N-E-W-E-S. And put that in. Get going there. And then after Nevis, it's FEX, F-E-X-X-X. F-E-X-X-X. And then I need to go nav, by the way. And then after FEX, clear out the discontinuities direct to Ruiz. And all I have to do is take Ruiz. I'll drop that up here. F-E-X-X. After much ado, we got that, right? There we go. And the altitudes are in there. Level at 23, and we did, what did we forget to do? Altimeters. Well, it's always something, Captain Marvel. Turn off the landing lights. Turn offs. Wing. I'll leave the logo on just to say I did. And to get it to go up to 21, you got to push it, or they'll be calling us here in a hurry if we don't. Let's go ahead up to 21. Yeah, I forgot to put the altimeter in. There we go. We'll go back into profile in a minute. It's always something. Let's go to the box. Too many numbers in my head, I swear. NIT. Index. How about VNAV? And we're going to be 210 as our final. And we'll go back into VNAV, 210, VNAV path, and LNAV, so we're good. I've recovered from my boo-boo. Here's our turn out towards FEX. Check our arrival by going to the box. Okay, so FEX at 23, but they're going to keep us at 21. Ruiz between 23 and 21. All in at 17. Banky at 16. Roebuck at 12. I'm going to put Infex at 21. And go up one more page here. Roebuck at 260 and 11 between 19, and then Providence above 11. Fran 250 between 11 and 12. Cradle between 10 and 8. Kleb at 250 and 8. Ethan 250 and 5. Huckdu 210 and 5. Petrick 220 and 5. Taylor 210 and 5. That looks good. ILS 22 left. Is Rector's Wayne. I think I'll put in Noli here, just for the heck of it. Noli, N-O. Tail, Noli, Wayne. All right. Noli, and that said at 4. All right, that way it's all set up. Reset MCP altitude. I don't know why. We're good. At or above 21 at Fix, and Ruiz is at or above.
JetBlue 1318, contact Boston approach 120.6.
120.6, JetBlue 1318.
JetBlue 1318, Boston approach, good morning. Continue Roebuck 3, arrival, expect ILS 22 left.
Continue Roebuck 3, expect 22 left for JetBlue 1318. Alright, so I need to go here. Go to COM2.
Airport information Delta, wind 270, 8 knots, visibility 10, cloud view 5,000 feet. Temperature 24 dew point 18. Altimeter. This is Boston Airport information Delta. Wind 270, 8 knots. Visibility 10. Cloud view 5,000 feet. Temperature 24 dew point 18. Altimeter 3026. Departing runway 22 right. Landing runway 22 left. ILS approach. Advise on initial contact. You have information Delta.
Delta. Back to guard over there. Information Delta. Uh, 270 at 10, 10 miles, few at 5,000, 25 degrees, 3026 will be the altimeter. ILS 22 left. Information Delta. They're going to have us go. We're supposed to go to Charlie 26. On the ground. We're going to clear 22 left. Charlie 26. Oh, it's up here. Let me see where that is. Parking gates. Charlie, oh, it's in here. 22 left, probably here. Probably down here. across from Quebec. To left. Hold short, probably right, across from Quebec in there. Auto brakes, I just use 2. Let's do takeoff landing data, see if I can get that down here. See, runway length, I could have taken off 1,500 feet and put that in there. Airport. Landing. Runway 22 left. Aircraft. What's our data going to be? NIT. Landing of 482. 482. I don't know if you put in 6 digits or what. .42, 147, landing 3280, availability 30. Looks good. Checklist. Recall. Nothing. No notes to review. Auto brakes, we'll put it on 2. Flaps will do, what do they say, 147? They think we should do flaps 25. We'll do flaps 25. 148 in here, that would be 147 by the time we get there. Approach brief we talked about. Misapproached in the box. We just didn't set the minimums. All right, approach, ILS 22 left. 216. Right down here. Slow. I bet I could have hit reset. Nope. Set 5,000 in the window when they give us a descent.
JetBlue 1318, descend to 12,000 feet when ready. Altimeter is 30.27. Comply with altitude and speed restrictions.
JetBlue 1318, descend to 12,000 when ready. 3027. And we're leaving 21 now. 12,000. Let me get it started down, guys. Comply with speed and restrictions. All right, it's showing us 1,500 feet high. I'll give us a little speed brake, help us get down a little. And then when we get back on path, we'll be able to put the speed brakes back up. And it wants us to comply with the restrictions too. Let me go back up top. We'll get the seatbelt sign on for the descent, make our PA. I'll get the lights on now, guys. I know it's early. One-man crew, right? There it is. Speed brake's coming up. All right. Here we go. And our next restriction is 260 at Roebuck. There's Roebuck. If you want to speed intervene, you could. All you gotta do is that. Get it slowing earlier. There it is. I just pressed on it and speed intervene. That's so nice. I'm going to help it out just a bit with little speed brakes as I see myself drifting a little high. Altimeters. 3026 is set. I'm just keeping the speed brake out because we're about 600 feet high. She shouldn't have any problem. There we go. I'll let it get back in path. We're looking for path. It's supposed to be Roebuck at 260. I'm not happy because we're not in path. We're in speed, and that's because we're 500 feet high. Coming down nicely, so I've got a little speed brake out. Here comes the path. 260 at Roebuck, which is in 1.5 miles. Above 12, below 19. So we're good. All right, we're good. It should go into path here. I didn't want to do it. Why not? What did I do wrong? I don't know. We will see. Above 11 at here. Altimeters are set. Providence above 11 and 260. So there it is, Providence above 11 and 260. Slightly below the path, but no problem. We're only going down to 12. Not a problem. $260 above 11. 250 so guys, so we took a look at it. There's our in the box missed approach. Climbed to 3,000 out to Boston 219. Pretty much a little bit straight ahead. We'll go nav at 400 feet after we go flaps 20. So it's going around flaps 20, positive rate gear up. Set missed approach altitude, which is 3,000, and above 400 feet nav, above 1,000 feet, we'll clean it up in VNAV. I did notice that I had to bring the throttles back manually at home, even though it didn't want to come back when I went flight level change. At that point I had to bring them back, so that's not uncommon in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's very uncommon in the real aircraft. 13 for 12. After landing, we'll clear. I think I already mentioned this, now that I think about it. They're probably, I would guess, somewhere around Charlie. Hold short of the inboard. And right-hand turn on Alpha into the alley. 7,600 feet on the inboard. What is that? So we definitely want the outboard to be better off. 22 right. On glide slope, 7,000. I think it's trying to...
JetBlue 1318, descend 11,000 feet, decrease speed 250 knots.
JetBlue 1318, descend to 11,000 feet and slow to 250. There's 250 and 11. Now, if you wanted to, you can come in VNav, put in 250 here. Go here. And then click out of here and go back into path. Just like that. I changed it in the box. Yeah, we're still well above we're doing well here. Pran at above 11 and 12. Cradle below 10. There's cradle way up here. Bouncing around with the FS Realistic. Look at that. All right, we're on path. There it is. Right on. Sending on down nicely. Well, so far I'm impressed, guys, with the airplane, Pmdg. I really am. They may not be impressed with me, but I'm impressed with it. You know, I'm going to write these speeds down over here. I always start in the airplane, too, especially at night. It's hard to read these. So my speeds are flaps 1, 265, 245, 230. That's 1515.
JetBlue 1318, descend to 8,000.
8,000, JetBlue 1318. All right, 8,000. I want 8. It says 8. Looking good. A little above the path, but it'll come down nicely. I'll give it a little help with some speed brakes. I'm just writing these speeds down here. 225 for flaps 20. And then flaps 25 is 200. Because it's so hard to read it. And then 30 is 180. Put those up here. And there we are, right on the glide path. So the speed brakes are back up. You know, I've been having trouble getting the spoilers to arm using my automated stuff. Speed brake armed. Okay, that's good. Yeah, my automated one wasn't working. So we can go outside and make sure it's not out. All right, we're still in nav, still in path, right on the path. Next speed is, well, it's 240. below 10, 210 at Tally, 220, 220 at Patrick. Be looking for that. Patrick is way up here, so we're good at 240. And we chimed them out of 10. Lights are on. Cabin ready, below 10. There we go. It's not giving the altitudes away, is he?
JetBlue 1318, proceed direct P-trick.
Direct P-trick, JetBlue 1318. All right, direct P-trick. Sub P-trick. There we go. See how that does on the altitude here. Get our heading moved around. It says we're a little below, so that's good. Leveling at 8. And P-trick's at 220. So approach speed is good. Yeah, this is just the Boeing checklist. Our checklist had a lot more stuff on there. Leveling at 8. I guess I should have the radar on. Why not? I don't know if the radar really works in this airplane. Probably not. All right, we're L navin it, V navin it. We're still in VNav Al. It's showing that we're 600 feet below the profile. P-trick was supposed to be at 5 and 220. We'll expect that. You know what? Let's use flaps 30 for 140 approach speed, just to give ourselves, in case we end up on the inboard runway. That's 7,000 foot runway. Both runways kind of short with the displaced thresholds. As this is saying, it's 10,000, but it's a long displaced threshold. It's really only, it's landing 8,800 on glide slope 77. Yeah, we'll use flaps 30. You know, for auto lands, you're only allowed to do 20 and 30. You're not allowed to do 25. Not that we're doing an auto land. As I mentioned, the ceilings were few at 5,000, 10 miles, 270 at 10, so a bit of a right cross. Kind of a long way around here. How much time are we into here? Yeah, we're going to be up near 2 hours.
JetBlue 1318, send 5,000, speed 220 knots, final turn in 15 miles.
220 knots, 5,000 for JetBlue 1318. And I'll do it through the box. There's a couple different ways to do it, but I'll just put in 220 here. That way we can leave it in here. Going down to 5, slowing at 220. I'll go slots extend, or flaps 1 rather. Wrong airplane. There it is, flaps 1. Again, that was below 280. We could do that. 265, wrong airplane. 265. And the next one is flaps 5 at 245, so we're good for that too. We go flaps 5. Sounds like they're going to take us inside of Holly here. Send around 1,000 feet per minute, looking good. You can see the banana here is right at Petrick at 5,000, so it tells us we're going to make it. We're supposed to be at 220, so looking good, even though it says we're a little high. It's supposed to be there at 220 and 5, and that tells us 5,000. We're going to get there early, so it's coming up on the path nicely. Yeah, all automatic on the engine ice, as long as you're in automatic, which we are. I tell you what, it's very rare that you get the ice to come on in automatic on this thing. It just doesn't need it. Has these little spinners out there that detect ice. I think it's 3 times in a second. You'll get whatever it is. It sheds the ice. For engine ice, wing anti-ice is 12 times a second. Something like that. It's been a while. Not that we count any of that stuff. We'll see how it handles on final. I like the way it felt on takeoff. I like the way the automation's working. I like the systems on it.
JetBlue 1318, maintain present heading, descend 3,000 feet, speed 200 knots or less.
200 or less, down to 3,000, present heading, JetBlue 1318. All right, so guys, we're going to go heading, select, heading, hold. Right? We're going to go 3,000 feet. I'm going to go flight level change. And 200 or less. We'll do 200. And there it is. Bring your throttles back at home. Present heading. So we can come to the box. Departure arrival. Wayne intersection. Execute. There it is, extended. And you can go flaps 15 below 230. We'll do that because it needs to get down. He could dump us in theoretically. Go down, slow down. So what do we got? We got flaps 15. I don't have any speed brakes out. No need for that just yet. I don't have the spoilers armed. I do actually. Speed brakes are armed. 4 for 3. Landing checklist, gear and flaps to go, and it says flaps 30 because that's what I said. Yeah, man.
JetBlue 1318, turn left heading 240, clear ILS 22 left, speed 180 knots or less.
Left 240, clear the ILS 22 left, 180 or less for JetBlue 1318. 240, heading select, slow it on down. At 240, 180 or less, cleared the ILS. Kind of turned us right on.
JetBlue 1318, contact tower 128.8. Have a good day.
288, you too. JetBlue 1318. We're armed. Tower is 28.8. $28.8, ground's 21.9. Tower JetBlue 1318 for the ILS 22 left.
JetBlue 1318, reduce minimum approach speed, number 2 behind heavy 747.
Slow to minimum approach speed, JetBlue 1318. Slide slow low capture, slow it on down, gears coming down, bring the speed back towards 140. Speed below 200, flaps 25. Low capture, Speed below 180, flaps 30 for landing checklist. Approach speed set. 140 knots. All right, low capture glide slope is coming down nicely. And 3,000 is set for the mist. Runway heading is set. ILS 22 left. If you remember a right-hand turn off, probably Charlie. Not in a big hurry to do it. Before landing checklist is complete. Shutdown, so we can clear that out. All right, got runway heading set, missed approach set. If we have to go missed approach, it's going around, flaps 20, positive rate gear up, set missed approach altitude. That should be 3,000. At 400 feet, we can go nav or heading select, whatever they give us, and then VNAV at 1,000 feet. Here we go. Low capture, glide slope capture. All right, I guess I should try to hand fly it, see what I think, right? Autopilot's off.
2,500.
I tell you, I definitely have a newfound respect, well, a tremendous respect for these developers after working with TFDi and what they have to go through with this Microsoft Flight Simulator platform. Is not a forgiving platform to pair with, and it's sort of one step forward, half step back every day. They change one thing, it changes 100. And from talking to Boeing engineers, that's actually, one of them's on our TFDi team, Mike DeSarro, who's known as Freaky D. He says the same thing with a real airplane. If the guy from pressurization changes something, the power plant guys and everything else, it changes everything. He said it's constant bugs, constant, as they develop real airplanes. So it's kind of cool.
JetBlue 1318, runway 22 left, blocked due to an emergency, re-cleared visual approach, runway 22 right, standby for landing clearance.
Okay, cleared visual 22 right for JetBlue 1318. All right, guys, I'm going to go over here. 22 right's a short runway, flaps 30. Definitely don't want to float. Glide slope should be pretty similar. I'm not going to program the box. I'll just use this. If you take a look on the 10-9, 22 right's actually a little earlier, so probably should be a little below glide path so that I don't get high on a short runway. Their threshold's a little before, because remember this one's displaced. So there we go. I'll get about a dot low on the glide path. When I pick up the VASIs, I'll just go flight director off. All right, flight director's off. I'll just fly it visually.
Glide slope.
Yeah, it's not
JetBlue
gonna...
1318, winds 270 at 8, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Clear to land, 22 right, JetBlue 1318, right cross, guys.
Glide slope.
It doesn't like it because I'm a little low for 22 left.
Glide slope.
But I'm not going to put my head down. I'm just flying the VASIs red over white. So it's because the displaced threshold is beyond this one. I need to be below glide path to beyond the VASIs, which I am right now. Yeah, my FO could have tuned the ILS 22 right for me or put in a flight path angle of 3 degrees, but I'm comfortable doing this now that I pick up the VASIs. Getting a little high. Bring it on down a little. I'll break the sink at around 40 feet on this thing. Hopefully get a nice landing right in the first. There's red over white. For a wide body, that's actually a good sight. You don't want too red, too white on a wide body, especially a big wide body like this.
400.
Starting to get a little frame drop off here.
Slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. 200.
VASIs look good.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
And that's where we can disarm the localizer.
Glide slope. 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 Glide slope.
A little long. Put it down here.
Glide slope.
Not getting any of the altitude call-outs, am I?
20. 10.
I've had better, but I've had worse.
That was rough.
I
I'm
know.
glad we're down.
I'm glad we're down too, brother.
JetBlue 1318, vacate right, contact ground 121.9er. Thanks for the help.
Vacate right, ground 219. No problem. JetBlue 1318. When we clear the runway, we go flaps up after landing checklist. It got a little high on short final. We'll see. JP grades your landings on these things. All right, vacate right. Let's get the map up here. Ground JetBlue 1318's clearing 22 right for
JetBlue 1318, welcome to Boston. Taxi gate Charlie 26 via Alpha.
Charlie 26 via Alpha for JetBlue 1318. Thanks a lot, sir. All right, guys, so we can go landing lights off. Start the APU up, right? Runway turn-offs off. Strobe is off, wings off, logo's off. Taxi lights left on. All right, we'll see if we can figure out where we are on the field. I think we got to go up in there. Yeah, we got a ways to go. Okay, flaps up after landing. Brake temp, it's hot. Auto brakes off. And we just got a shot list check. So the flaps are up, gears up, spoilers are up. Brakes a little warm. Got to be careful of that. All right, here we go.
Well done, guys. Scenario is over. Welcome to Boston. Now just the time for a quick coffee and prepare your aircraft for the way back to Kennedy on JetBlue 1317, just like a normal crew. We don't have too much time on ground normally. All right. I hope you enjoyed that scenario. If you have any question or comments, head up to the forum. I will be very pleased to see your comments. And I would like to thank again the pilots that helped with the voice today. Their names are in the lesson plan. Thank you, guys, and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, JP. Now get out of here, you nut. He's the best. That guy's the best. If you guys get this thing, you will see. Go to his Discord, and he's always available. All right, so we're going to go in Foxtrot and down in this alley and try to find Charlie 26. Probably too small for this aircraft. It's usually what they say. Yeah, these profiles are a lot of fun, and this airplane, it does frequency changes. It's going to be doing frequency changes for it. It actually does checklists, loads the box for you. There's different things. We didn't use it today because it's being developed for this jet. But if you have the Phoenix A320, the Pmdg 7.3, Mad Dog, and it's going to be for the Pmdg 777 and for this airplane very soon. They're in beta phase testing. It'll do everything for you. Although it's not great for when you're doing these instructions. Oh, somebody can be at my gate. Little devils. Little devils. And we'll just go in here. All right. Remember, this is where the nose gear is. Yeah, we're in the right place. I'll just bring it on up. Sure, it's too small for this aircraft. All right, parking brakes are parked. Seatbelt sign. is off. APU is established. Chop them. Back to the overhead. You do the hydraulic pumps. Go this way. This way. You know, if we actually had hot brakes like this, guys, would probably call. You'll notice I'll turn these all off, and the beacon's off. Navs are off. We'll leave nav on, beacon off, and ADARUs are off. Window heat off. And let's just get us deplaning here.
This parking is too small for your the boarding requested.
I know, you're too small for my aircraft. And turn off this light, and let's do the checklist. That was fun. I'll tell you what. Oh, this should be up all the way. Oh, didn't quite get them all the way. Click them enough. I'm flying the MD-11 too much. And parking brakes up. Let's go ahead to the EFB. We'll get some external power set up. EFB, ground operations, ground connections, set chocks, reduce the brakes, ground power request, open aft cargo doors. Okay, door management, aft cargo, open, we'll open, disarm all doors. L2 entry.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Shutdown flaps should be up. Kidding me? Flaps are up. Override. Parking brakes are off. Weather radar, I'm going to turn that off. Shutdown secure checklist. Let's see. Secure emergency lights off and packs are off.
Good morning.
Well, emergency lights, we'll just should probably wait till people get off to do that. We'll pretend that they're
Good morning.
all off. Emergency lights off.
Goodbye.
And APU is available. External power is available. Put those on, and packs are, they said off. We'll leave those on. Packs off. There we go. APU airs off. Let's go back here. Well, I got to tell you, this is a nice airplane. Makes me really miss it. See you later, folks. Love you guys. Love you. Sorry, ma'am. This day and age, that get me fired. I'm retired, though. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to subscribe. It's Father Time going out. I'll be back when the MD-11 is released. I'll do a whole evaluation of MD-11. I'll do a little fly-off between these two airplanes, and they both have their strengths. They have a lot of strengths. A lot of strengths, both of them. If you have the money, buy both of them. Especially if you like cargo operations. MD-11's got freighters, Pratt & Whitney's, of course, passenger versions, extended range. Got a lot of stuff. This Pmdg is loaded. It's loaded. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate you. Comment too. Comment. Go to my Discord. Please be part of it. I need all the company I can get. I've been at this TFDi thing for 10 months, so I'm just trying to get my channel started again as I've been busy over there. All right. Thanks a lot. Father Time's out.